Here.
Trustee Chadwick?
Here.
President Berman?
Here. Very good. With that, I'll take a motion to approve the meeting minutes from December 15th and December 22nd.
What?
We got to do the pledge. You didn't put it on the agenda, but we got to do the pledge.
I don't see it on mine, but that's all right.
Yeah, it is.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible with liberty and justice for all. All right. And now we'll take approval of the minutes.
I'd like to make a motion for the board to approve the regular board meeting minutes of December 15th, 2020, along with the special board meeting minutes of December 22nd, 2020. All trustees have had this given to them prior and a chance to review. If there are any questions, we'll vote.
Any corrections or concerns? Take a roll call for approval.
Trustee Berman?
Aye.
Trustee Elect? Trustee Jabrowski?
Aye.
Trustee Duvall?
Aye.
Trustee Stout?
Aye.
Trustee Chadwick?
Aye.
President Berman?
Aye. All right, moving right on, we'll move into item number 4. A citizens' comment section, the first area for citizens to with the board, one time for 3 minutes or 5 minutes of representing a group. Please come on up, give your name and address for the record.
I just have a comment about events for 2021 because I'm running for trustee for Nova and involved in events. A lot of people have been asking me if we're going to do events in 2021 before the whole celebration of events. So I didn't see anything out there about Winter Fest. Sorry.
There's a sign up for it up there.
Oh, great. So we speak it to
Todd, could you have them speak up a little more? I can't hear them.
Okay. Yeah, no.
Anyone else? Here we go.
Hello, my name is Chris Baird, and I'm a candidate for the Greendale School Board. A lifelong resident of Greendale, now a parent of 2 children currently enrolled in Canterbury. I'm very invested in making their schools and their community the best they can be. My grandma and mom were both lifelong teachers. My grandma spent her career in Greendale, teaching everything from elementary school to high school. My mom started her career in Greendale, spending most of her time at the high school level. The tradition continues as my partner, the early childhood teacher at MPS, giving me a first-hand look at the contemporary issues faced by teachers like yourself. This includes the transition and unique challenges of virtual learning. Though I'm not an educator myself, I was raised to believe education is the cornerstone of a thriving community, and that it is important to be actively involved in advocating to keep our schools strong. I can still remember my first day of kindergarten at College Park way back in 1982. I benefited greatly from my education in Greendale. It has positioned me to be successful professionally. My job as senior marketing coordinator for Performance Food Group in a challenging, fast-paced environment required collaborating and problem-solving to achieve common goals. All these experiences and skills are what I bring to the table. They will help me to be a successful school board member. While my 2 kids have inspired me to run for the school board, I'm doing it for all the kids to do it. I'm excited for the opportunity to work alongside new leadership to continue to make our school great. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Chris Baird.
Thank you. Anyone else coming up? I can't see.
That's the fear stuff.
You gotta talk into the mic.
What's that?
Well, you can move on to.
Is that the end of the speakers?
Yeah, that's the end.
Okay, very good. With that, we'll move on to item number 5. We have one new communications tonight. 21-01, Alvin Evans Special Use Application to convert 5595-97 Bluebird Court into 2 condominiums. Who's presenting that, you, Todd, or?
John was resolved very quickly. As he said, it's a special use application for condominium conversion. These are a formality at this point, but we do refer to the plan to get to the end, but it's also the recommendations of that.
All right, do we need to move this to a committee? Go ahead.
Sally has her hand up.
Who does?
Sally.
Oh, Sally is right in that. We're,
Oh, you forgot me already. Oh, yeah.
go ahead, Sally.
I'd like to move to refer, item number 21-01 from L Emmons, to, the planning commission and to the planning consultant for the review and their recommendation.
Have a second?
Yes.
Yes, second.
All right, very good. All right, we'll take roll call for moving to planning commission.
Trustee Olet.
Aye.
Trustee Segura.
Aye.
Trustee McFall.
Aye.
Trustee Sal.
Aye.
Trustee Segura.
Aye.
President Bergeron.
Aye,
Trustee Garber.
Aye.
very good. Now, sorry, Sally, Jason's head is right where you are sitting. Sorry, I'm looking right in the back of your head, Jason. All right, with that, we'll go to standing committee reports. We'll start with the finance committee, Trustee Barbin.
Thank you, President Birmingham. We have several items on the finance committee tonight. First item, finance committee recommends that the board approves the following applications for beverage operator license, SP 2101. They've all passed the training from the police department and the records checks have been done. Christy Miller for Marcus Bistroplex. Judith Jung, Joey Gerard. Joel Dyer, Marcus Bistroplex. Finance committee recommends that this be approved. Is there a second? Any commentary on any of these people? Any trustees have a question? I see all trainings completed and record checks all passed. Any other questions? Can I ask for a roll call, please?
Trustee Segura.
Aye.
Trustee McFall.
Aye.
Trustee Sal.
Aye.
Trustee Segura.
Aye.
President Bergeron.
Aye,
Trustee Garber.
Aye.
Trustee Olet.
Aye.
Jim,
yes.
are you having trouble hearing everyone?
No, I can pretty much hear everybody go around. Yeah.
Good.
The next item for the finance committee is consider the approval purchase of the police vehicle, FC 2102. Which is going to do a rough outline. These are budgeted items that we went through in October, and the one was actually the equipment that we added on each vehicle, so it's an approved item, but to give a little background to the audience.
Good evening. The Greendale Police Department has created a rotation schedule for replacing squad cars. The rotation schedule has been economic and has met vehicle needs to protect the village of Greendale. Each year, our department researches police production vehicles on the market to determine which vehicles best meet the needs of the Greendale Police Department, are the best value, and the best operational vehicle for the department. Last year, as a compromise, we only requested the purchase of one police vehicle in order to maintain staffing levels within the police department. During the budget meetings, I asked for a budgeted amount that would be spent on 2 police vehicles. By replacing 2 squads this budget cycle, we are able to maintain our rotation schedule levels. Police command staff shop to compare vehicle pricing, find the best deal on the best vehicle. The price of the 2021 Ford Explorer is $32,993 as priced with options. The price of the 2021 Ford F-150 Responder has not been set and will not be available to me until March of 2021. Realizing that I'm operating within a budget, I would like to order the second vehicle as soon as I am able to ensure the best price and delivery in 2021. I guess at this point, if there's specific questions about the cars. I mean, I have more background I can go into, but I mean, from year to year, it doesn't really change because we're doing the same thing.
Yeah, you went through a lot of this during the budget session, but Trustee Sell, you have a
Another question, I think we went through in the budget session in detail, so I'll just need to move. Sure, just as long as we're within the budget.
Correct, that's what, so any other questions? Trustee Chad?
I just want to make sure when, I have no problems with you putting in an order right away and stuff.
Right.
Does that benefit us, by getting any kind of a break, extra break?
If we place the order prior to the due date, then we get last year's pricing. If we wait till after, we have to go into the next year's pricing.
Okay. Any idea what the percentage of more is?
I don't know because the pricing's not out yet. You
Okay,
know, if I wait till after the date, then they list the new price. If it's more, which it will be because it always goes up.
okay, again, I don't have a problem with it.
That's something you
Trustee McFall?
2021.
Yeah, I requested it, and the chief looked into it and said he thought it was a good thing to do. What we're gonna buy is, basically an unmarked F-150 that will look like every F-150 out there, that basically people will not see it as unmarked. Also, since it's one of the best-selling vehicles in the country, it multiplies the number of gray F-150s that the police department has. Every time people see one, they'll think it's if they know.
I don't know if they have a lot of forces have it.
Yeah,
It's definitely, so the Ford F-150 Responder is newer, probably like the last year or two. They are pursuit rated, so it's not like we're buying a civilian vehicle, it's pursuit rated. It is 4-wheel drive, which would actually be the only 4-wheel drive vehicle that we would have in our fleet. I mean, it will have lights, it will have a siren, it will have a transport cage, 1/3. So it gives us the ability to do everything we're doing now, but with some.
That's what I wanted to make sure that it set up as.
Yep, just on mark.
Perfect. Other questions from the trustees? The Finance Committee recommends the village board to approve the purchase of 2 police vehicles right away as step 1, including the cost of setup and equipment, not to exceed the budgeted amount of the 2021 budget we worked on in October. Is there a second?
Second motion?
Any last discussions? Seeing none, I'd ask for roll call, please.
Trustee Paul.
Aye.
Trustee Sal.
Aye.
Trustee Chadwick.
Aye.
President Bergkamp.
Aye.
Trustee Guardian.
Aye.
Trustee Lewis.
Aye.
Trustee Sidrow.
Motion passes. Good job, Chief.
Thank you.
Next item is the Finance Committee's internal audit review of bills presented for payment on a rotating monthly basis. Each trustee delves into P-card purchases at random, checks, and any ACH payments. They then are pulled out by our support staff and looked at. this particular month, trustee Alette at the assignment, and pass it over.
Yes, thank you, Kristen. I did have the pleasure of pulling the checks and P cards of the ACH payment. And I did four ACH, 3 P cards, and about 4 of the other ones. We all checked out perfectly. So thank you very much.
Very good. Since all trustees have packets of this information, are there any other questions on their own that they have? None, so I'm going to say thank you to trustee Alette for your diligence on that. We'll move on. The next item on finance committee, and we're recommending the board approve accounts payable checks for payment. Finance committee moves to approve accounts payable checks number 57068 through 57175, the amount of $531,287.76. ACH payments in the amount of $860,585.72. The P card purchases for the month in the amount of $77,920.46. For a grand total, we're asking for approval of $1,469,793.94. Sorry, we were talking about that.
Second motion.
Any questions on this before we vote? So I'd like to roll call, please.
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
Affirmative.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Last item on the finance committee for tonight is the status of accounts, November 30th, 2020. Kristen, you have an update?
Do you have anything, do you have any questions? But I will have it more.
Okay, the finance committee would ask this item to be pushed back to our next meeting. In case you have any update.
Very good.
Actually, the next meeting, she'll have the December numbers.
Okay.
So those are better. I mean, they're not going to be final numbers, but they're better than November.
Thank you. That can, President Birmingham, that
All right.
concludes.
Thank you very much, trustee Barbian. Anything from the planning commission tonight?
There was no meeting.
All right, library board, trustee Sells.
We have a meeting tomorrow, but I do have an update on staffing after we went through the budget, and then we also had one full-time librarian did leave as well. So what we've done is we're underfilling the full-time librarian position by promoting one of the library associates. We're going to be going to get her education, so she will be a full-time librarian in about a year, but until then, it'll save us some money. We're going to hold her position, which is the library associate part-time. We're going to hold vacants until mid-February to save some funds there. We've eliminated the second library associate part-time position, laid that employee off, as well as laying off 2 page positions, which are 10 hours per week. So in summary, 3 part-time positions will be eliminated, and additional part-time position will be helped to take for 45 days. So that's can help us.
Any further questions for trustee Sells? If none, we'll move right along. Public Works Committee, trustee McFall. Okay. Board of Health, trustee Jaworski.
Yep, we actually have a meeting today. I guess we'll talk about is phone numbers. They're actually down, which is really good. Confirmed cases are at 31. Negative cases are 96. Recovered 52. Unfortunately, we did have 2 more deaths, which takes us to 19 now. One thing that Sue did mention though is she feels that a lot of people are not getting tested. So the numbers
Is that it? Oh,
So that's I guess another big thing, keep wearing your mask, washing your hands, and try to keep 6 feet distance. And that's it.
That's it?
Sally?
I can't tell you how many people are so anxious and excited and everything about the vaccine and the fact that we'll be, here and stuff. So whatever we can do, I don't know what, but to hurry that up, that would be absolutely excellent.
National Guard was actually at Post Howard today, and I think they got 70 doses out. Doing that again on Thursday. Also, the health department's giving roughly 100 doses a week. I think that's somewhere on the 70 range per week that we're giving out.
We've been giving out about 100 each week. We got 200 this week, so we'll probably give out 200. We ordered 300.
Okay.
But the vaccine supplies are low, so we're not getting the vaccine numbers that we need.
Okay, everybody was very pleased to hear about the fact that health department, fire department, police are, being taken care of. So that's a blessing. So thank you.
And I guess I'll just say one thing, the health department is working extremely hard for all of our residents. And I want to really say thank you to them. As the meeting with them today, and how they're really giving it their all. So thank you to all.
Thank you. I really appreciate you both staffing. So how residents want to get vaccinated, is that going to be allowed, or how are we doing that?
We do have, because we get our vaccine as a federal asset that's given to the state, we do have to follow the phases. So we're trying to finish up phase 1A, which are the healthcare providers that are what we call patient facing, that they're in direct contact.
So like
Then the
residents
next phase,
are residents that are just here to vote?
no, residents do. We've given quite a few residents. A lot of them, they're getting it through their healthcare providers. So if they work in a hospital setting as a pharmacist or nurse, aide, even custodial in the hospital, they are getting it through the healthcare system. So what we are doing are what are called unaffiliated. So they're, we have some home health agencies in Greendale that are businesses. We gave it to them. Some dentists, chiropractors, optometrists, all people that are kind of direct contact with patients. So that's what we're trying to finish up this week, and then next week we can start getting it to phase 1B, which is 65 and older. And there's a lot of 65 and older that live in Greendale, right? We're known for that. So we're asking for more vaccine, but I don't know that we will get enough to be able to vaccinate large numbers of people all at once. But we are also doing some planning with other health departments to do what we call mass clinics, so that we can do pool all of our resources, pool our staff, pool our vaccine, pool our supplies, and do more people at once to try to get more out more quickly.
When people are asking, I just continue to tell them to call the health.
They should check our website.
Okay.
Yeah, we're trying. We got probably 300 or 400 calls today, and and we are being very honest with people though, just to say we don't have enough vaccine. We're trying to get it to the patient, and we're hoping that the pharmacies and healthcare providers like your doctor's offices will start getting it too. But it's just a shortage across the system till they can ramp up production.
Very good. Anything further, Jason?
Oh, that's it.
All right, very good. Thank you. How about Jason, also public health welfare?
Not no meeting.
All right, very good. Park and Rec Committee, Trustee Sells. Trustee Sells, anything?
No meeting.
Okay, very good. Thank you. And public celebration, Trustee Olet.
We did have a meeting and to answer some questions. So we decided not to have any class this year. And our first real event is going to be probably Pet Palooza, Jim's favorite event.
Is what?
And, we are gonna have something, we're gonna bring out like, I left my heart on broad, so people are gonna be bringing that back to Valentine's Day. And it's gonna be mainly focused on the shop, village, not like a big event. And then also, the Clover Crawl, we're just gonna kind of have, again, just for the shop, not gonna have any kind of a celebration, so like I said, probably in May will be. That'll be the, our first event. But we are planning on, still doing the 4th of July at this point. We had to make a decision whether to move forward or not. So, Jackie and Rachel did reach out to all of our units, and the new units too is a really exciting thing. To see if they will be in our 4th of July parade. So all the letters have been sent out, and we're, planning.
Did I hear that the gazebo shows were going to go on? Is that what I'm hearing?
That'll be GEA, and yes, we're still planning those, I hope.
Say that again?
Yeah, GEA is still planning on doing the.
Very good. Thank you.
Reaching out to them, we'll talk about that.
Further questions for Trustee Olet?
Yeah, our other villages and cities sound like they're in the 4th of July also.
We really haven't checked out at this point. I would imagine, as far as I know, nothing's been canceled. But, always. And then
All right.
We'll talk about the light race.
All right, with that, any further questions? If none, move on to item 7. I have no old business tonight, no appointments, resignations. We'll move on to item number 8, new business tonight. BOT 21-01, discussion and necessary action regarding an ordinance amendment to Chapter 15 Building Code of the Code of Ordinance regarding elimination of the building board and adoption of state codes. Go ahead, Ken. Good evening.
Okay, we discussed this pretty much in the last meeting in detail. So with the new ordinance, we did eliminate the section on building board. And it came at an opportune time because every few years the state has reaffirmed that we're going to do state inspections. So the other 2 sections that were modified were just the new language for the state of Wisconsin. So pretty much if we want to do commercial plan review and commercial inspections, we have to give them our new ordinance with the new language.
Any questions to Ken on this ordinance?
Just make a motion to approve.
I need a motion, please, to approve this. Go ahead, Trustee Chadwick, or
I was gonna make a motion.
are we taking a motion or are we answering the question?
That's great. Move to approve ordinance 927, amending chapter 15 of the building code regarding elimination of the building board and adopting state code.
Second.
Hedwig,
Aye.
Councilman Birmingham,
Aye.
Trustee Birmingham,
Aye.
Trustee Olet,
Aye.
Trustee Cabral.
Aye.
Trustee Paul.
Aye.
Trustee Sal.
Aye.
Okay, that's been approved, and that committee, I guess, is no longer. All right, let's move on to item number 2, B, BOT 21-02, discussing the necessary action regarding purchase of various pedestrian crossing improvements throughout the village of Greendale. Who is that? Oh, hey, Ron. What?
Per request of the village board, trustees, staff has received bids for various pedestrian safety upgrades and options. The lower the lowest bids received for each option. There were 3 companies that sent 3 bids for each option. It was Capco, Alert Lighting, and Lane Enterprises. The first one you can see is the vertical folding stop signs. This is a discussion in Sherwood Road. Just your standard stop sign flips up, flips down. The thought process there was obviously for the summer months we have that put down. For the rest of the months we have that put up. So that would be $146.45 for each sign. Alert Lighting Company gave us a bid for an LED solar powered stop sign. That would be a 24/7 flashing stop sign. Those were $685 each. They also gave us a bid for the LED powered pedestrian stop sign. That's also 24/7 flashing, and that would be yellow lights flashing, yellow pedestrian sign. Lighting Enterprises gave us a bid for the solar powered pedestrian stop sign with deluxe push button and communication between the two signs. And that came in $2,000 or $2,060 each. That would allow you to, if, for example, if you're looking at Broad Street, you would push the button, it would communicate to the other side. So in that instance, you would see that sign flashing south and north. For the speed cables, Ari Smith estimated that at about $10,000 each. Same $10,000 for the overhead stop sign. That flashing portion as well. And also Lighting Enterprises came in at the cheapest, $31.95 for just your standard stop sign, and I think those were going to go that would 4 signs and 4 4x4s for a total of $260. Those were kind of the prices for the options that the board asked for.
That's, you know,
This speed cable. Yeah, that requires concrete, painting, and there's an asphalt pad, which is actually.
Yeah, it's,
So, and that's an estimate, you know, if that's something you're interested in, we would put that probably in our 2021 paving when we go up there and see what as far as pricing.
Start, go ahead, Charlie.
I'm curious, there's an example on, the page where, you know, they have the featured the pedestrian crossing, you know, and it's painted right on the, street.
Sure.
Truly, how effective is that in, winter conditions like we have?
It's similar to the our road striping, you know, we do it every year. Some areas get affected more than others. Some, you know, can make it.
So you think it's worthy of doing? Yeah.
I mean, I think it's worthy of doing. That's the option because, you know, the board decided to go with that out, it would just be the possibility of.
So, your landlord?
It's, yeah, crossing.
Yeah, I just often wondered about it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I guess thank you for putting it together. My personal opinion is, you know, we're very agree. With the stop sign, I would support the vertical folding stop sign. I'm sure it would too, especially for 146. Just drive for a couple of years, not working, you know, risk of money. And then just safety wise, I would support trying to find money to do the $2,060 push buttons, flashing stop signs at Grange or on Broad Street, both by Catholic Club and also by the Blue Club. I agree that we don't want to flash it 24/7, but then that $1,400 for the issues that seen on there, but already happened. That's my opinion.
I would agree with.
Hey, Todd, could you move forward with this discussion? I'm losing some of the conversation.
Okay.
Thank you.
The only concern I've had is that I'm not sure we can put a flashing pedestrian sign at a 4-way stop. I have to check that. I mean, if we can't, we can't. I mean, it's just whether it's allowed in the traffic manual. we'd have to check that out.
Middle, or,
Yeah, on school way. Broad Street.
well, not the middle one, so not the.
Problem?
I'm good with everything except, I just don't like the football stop sign. I think it confuses people. I mean, 1 week they're down, 1 week they're up. I mean, 1 month they might be down, and 1 month they're just straight up. You know, if you're gonna do this, if you're gonna do it, like, just go with it.
Be consistent.
Yeah, be consistent. You know, like I said, I grew up with the sign on the end of Downing Street, and I grew up with the one on Arrowwood, where the police officers in the one shift would have to flip it, you know, for the one for before 7 o'clock, and sometimes they were out on the call, they couldn't get to it. So it all day it stood as a half, where people were used to stopping there. So that's why I said it gets kind of confusing, and I guess that's the thing that I would try to get away from it. If you're gonna put up a stop sign, just put up a full stop sign.
Trustee Chapman.
My only thought was that it makes me aware, it makes me more, observant if, like, is it up or down? Okay, I don't have a problem with it being consistent being down, okay? I just thought, just put that other way. On the picture up here, that you have up there, again, I question if the arrows there, and, there's another picture there, it says speed tables. How important are those?
That means could be more geared for that middle portion of Broad Street. It's more of a, like this, less of racing speed bump. So you would be going up, flattening out, coming down. There's
That's a perfect spot for that.
Okay, I guess I'm not in favor of that. Marking the spot, making sure that, whatever we can do for the pedestrians and everything, absolutely. But I'm not convinced about marking up the street all the time, because it becomes, if there's so many markings and stuff, it's like signage. You put up too much signage, nobody pays attention. You put on all that, nobody pays attention. And to me, what is the maximum effort that we can put in for the pedestrians is to make sure they're safe, okay? And I personally am just not convinced that all of this painting and everything is, with the signage, I'm not convinced that that's the best way.
Hold on.
Yeah, I feel like you can have.
Hold on, Robbie. Chief Rosano, do you have something you wanted to say?
I just wanted to remind the board that if you put the stop sign over on Sherwood, the yield sign has to be removed, because, so that yield sign would go away, and if the stop sign is down, you'd almost have to either have a yield sign or you have to change it to a two-way stop. So it'd be very hard to like flip back and forth, because you don't want a stop sign one way and yield sign off the other street. You're bound to have an accident.
I would be in favor of the flip sign anybody goes across there. So would be on Sherwood. Only because it's really needed just right spot. So then not having it, during the winter. That would make sense.
More traffic down there.
I mean, there's a lot more.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
Okay. And then, I also think that I really like that, the speed bump, I think we may be cautious enough, especially in the village. By the business street right in the middle, they have the speed table right there. Before you check. Those speed table bump. The new speed bump,
You're saying in the middle or?
middle, I'm talking middle. But kind of going up,
Oh, I think we should have, I'm sure would hear what you're saying, but I don't want to make it work for the police department, put it up and down. And I would go to put a sign up there, not the sign. Well, yeah, but still something that they have to do. On Range and Blue River Drive, I think that's mandatory. I think all of the dangerous spots, put 4 signs there. I think that I like maps, I do like push buttons, but you can plug it.
Yeah. Just realize that those will catch additional requests for
Yeah,
signs. So on the same track, because everybody's got an intersection and crosswalk.
one that will go on this. It's a very good point. As for the inside one, I'm not sure what this, the crossing area there, put all the paint on, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, okay, I guess it does seem a lot of clutter, to me, but that helps safety, I'm all for it. You think it would help?
The portion of that $10,000 is that EPA would have to have compliant. So those
$10,000.
ramps on the side would all have.
I am concerned a little bit about the $10,000. Among the type of our own meeting that we've gone through budget season, and nitpicked every line item that we should have done a good job. And now, the first month of the year, we're $10,000. The other ones are making both dollars. Wow. I don't know if they have that.
Does somebody want to make a motion?
All right, I'd like to make a motion to put the 4-way stop signs at Blue River, Grange, a stop sign on Sherwood, and 2 push button pedestrian stop signs, not pedestrian, 2 push button stop signs. Okay, Broad and Northway and Broad and Schoolway, subject to them complying with the traffic.
You said it's stop signs or the crosswalk sign?
Just the stop sign, the push button flashing stop
That
sign.
would,
Which one? There is no stop. Push button. Only pedestrian push button. The stops are always. There's no stop for pushing, so you can't come to the crosswalk and push the button, flash, stop, hold, stop.
So
You
we
can push button.
have a stop sign, and sign, and the button and the pedestrian sign.
If there was a flashing stop, that would be.
We don't want that. So flashing pedestrian sign, and I'd like to have Rod look into the speed table for next year to see if it's a problem. So again, to repeat, 4-way stop at Grange and the River, stop sign on Sherwood and Sherwood. Yep, Devonshire. No, just the stop sign. And then 3-way stop. Yeah, and the flashing pedestrian push button on Grange, Broad, and Schoolway and Broad. And then have Rod next year, budget session, look into the possibility of speed table. in the middle.
more,
Mr. Chadwick,
can I just ask a question? Are you at those intersections just the east-west crossing? Or all the crossings?
Yeah.
no one.
Well, no, just east, east, west on, no, all of them.
So you're gonna have
Um,
2,000 per sign before communicate, the full package. is 4,000.
Start with the east, west.
Where?
Broad. And
Where it goes on.
Northway, yeah, and Broad and School. One side. One. little
By
business
Zoe
is-
Drive.
I think that's-
Yes.
So the future work.
Yeah.
Somebody seconded. So, you know,
Do we need to make put anything in there about the fact that the state's gonna come and redo the corner down there?
River Green.
No? Okay, and we're all okay about spending the money, even though the state's gonna come in and change it all?
We could do.
So what is, so from my end out here, what is the total dollar amount? Has it been changed?
Two locations, 4,000, 3,300.
How much? Say it again.
I'd say roughly under 10,000.
Where's that from?
I didn't hear the first number again.
Just under
About
10,000.
10,300.
10 grand for a stop sign, okay.
Where's that?
Everybody's cool, everybody's good with that?
It's another 10 grand for the speed table too. You're not doing the speed test.
That's true.
We can do 10 grand. if that's what we're-
Glad we borrowed some money for equipment.
We're a portion of that.
Wow.
Is there any more discussion?
So, what, that's probably.
Take it to.
Councilmember Bennington?
No,
For doing the little amount. We already started voting.
have you voted?
We just started voting, right?
Yeah, she just said trustee Berman. Didn't she say my name? Yeah. Okay. And I'm not for this kind of money, but no.
We're definitely not doing the other 10,000.
Trustee Elect? Aye. Trustee Theodore?
Aye.
Trustee McFall?
Aye.
Trustee Stout?
Aye.
Trustee Sarah?
Aye.
Very good. All right. With that, we'll move on to item number, this will be item number C, BOT 21-03. Discussion and necessary action pertaining to the special events application for Tour America Dairy Greendale Grand Prix Bike Race. Hello, Kristen.
Okay, so Tour American Dairyland Bike Race is working on the schedule for 2021, and we're once again with the calendar for Wednesday, June 23rd, for their Olympic bike tour. Once again, this is a world-renowned organization which attracts bikers from around the world, expecting 3,000 bikers in attendance. The cost is $9,200 plus an additional $2,000 in premium incentives for races, for a total of $11,200. They would like a signed contract in the next few weeks for 2021, which involves a non-refundable down payment of $1,380. They will then make a final decision to cancel or move forward on April 1st. Regardless, we would be responsible for that. So I've had several conversations with them, and basically we have two options here. One, we can sign the contract and commit to the $1,380. That's non-refundable, and just see what happens and hope for the best. Or two, we can forego to 2021, as maybe this is the right timing to use such a large scale and costly event this year. And they will let us know the dates they have available on that April 1st when they make their determination, and we can have a verbal agreement. I spoke with Grand Haven about these options, and Grand Haven, our sponsor last year, has basically agreed to donate $5,000 up front, and they'll match additional donation up to $5,000. So if I can raise $5,000 from the sponsors, they'll match that for a total of $15,000 to cover the entire cost. They are only agreeing to do this for 1 year, so we can either use their sponsorship for this year and hope it all works out, or we can hold on to that sponsorship and use it for 2022. And when we shoot our date in April, Grand Haven will sign a written contract that they will sign. In speaking with Anne Marie, this would be their preference. Told, of course, have done everything they can to try and make something work for this. They're assessing their COVID risk management and are really just trying to work with all the community to make them comfortable, see what they can do. They're not planning any backup dates as they either go or don't go. So far, out of the 11 cities, they have 5 verbal agreements and only 1 contract signed. These are all cities that have had a long-standing relationship with them, like Shirley Grafton and Big for years. So this item was discussed at the January 12th PCC meeting, and with obvious concerns about 2021 and pushed through to the board for final decision here. Since then, I've had subsequent conversations with Grand Haven and we've come up with option 2 for next year, which is not on the table at the SPC meeting. So this all kind of came about in the last few days. So this is what needs to be officially decided tonight. They are looking for a contract for a yes or no. Does that all make sense? That was a lot of information. No, that's a lot.
Discussion on this, go ahead, Sally.
A question on the April 20th, 22, if we decide to do that, we still owe 1,003.
Nope, we can decide to forego this year, and on April 1st, when they make a determination, they'll know how many cities they have booked for this year. So they'll be able to say, okay, well, we have a couple openings for this year. That means we have open spots for 2022. Here are our date options, and we will take a verbal agreement and we owe nothing.
But if we go with 2021, we do owe.
We owe no matter what. Even if they cancel, if we decide, oh, geez, we can't do this year, you know, we are on the hook for that no matter what.
And Grand Haven has said they prefer April 2022.
And not April. April is the decision. The race is in June.
So they are okay with June of this year.
No, Grand Haven would prefer to hold off
Okay, but not April.
until next year. No, June 23rd. The
Gotcha,
decision is the go or no go.
gotcha.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead, Donna.
Motion to forego this year and have it be for June of 2022.
Second,
Further discussion? Now we'll take a roll call for approval.
That is what,
That is a question.
I thought I understood it. So if we put the 13 meeting down right now, we haven't been able to say, hey, we're gonna promote it. We can carry it deposit next year.
No, it's for their work that they put in
Okay.
for this
We
year.
already lost this last
Right, we
year.
lost $1,000 here for the work that we did. All that stuff. So that's- They were flat, non-refundable deposit.
I think this will be great for Greendale.
Right, the tourism aspect would be amazing, so we don't want to lose our date, so if they're giving us that option on April 1st, it's like huge deal.
Especially after the pandemic.
That's a good option. Thank you.
Sure.
Go ahead.
This is a national race, it's well known, we're very lucky to have the opportunity to do this. We talked about last week, but got canceled. As long as we're still in the mix going forward, I think it's really neat to have. And I think it's been carried through for many years, and if you're talking 2,000 people, when it's the right time, we're ready to have it, that's just.
You're right, and they want us to, as much as we want that, so they're trying to make it work, so.
I'm sorry, I have one more question. So if we don't do this, but if the first comes around and they're like, hey, we'll play with it.
Potentially, if they, like I said, they only have 5 regular agreements right now, so in terms of butter, and we want to get back in the spirit, it's still an opportunity.
I'd like to do it this year if we can, well, I don't want to pay it around from the top, but if the first comes around, I'd like to, and it's still available and things are a little better.
So the work with that is, we have to, it's gonna cost like 15,000, okay, we only have 10, we should have to, but we would have to try to find sponsors for 5,000 more. I really don't think it's been the real discussion for Chris to be using her time to try and get sponsors for the event.
Yeah, not now, but maybe they can do it.
So that's what I'm saying, well, within only 2 months. So I'm saying,
I'm fine with not doing non-funded process. I don't want to forego it.
Well, no, 2022.
When I
No.
first started, this came up in April as we were the last minute opportunity and the board voted to not do it for that first year because very not a lot. So other than the fact that we would want to do it, we have a little bit more background now that we've gone through this a couple of times, you know, it still never happened. But the planning that was such a short amount of time, such a few months, would be exciting, but. Whatever else, or we can always go in.
So that if something happens, I won't get.
Sure. The motion is we will go 2021 and 2022. We actually that we didn't do it now. I mean, it's like something rents to change or something, but I don't think that's really, that's not in my motion. We will go forward in 2022. You know. When we know that it will be safer and we have all of these.
Do we have a motion on this or we?
We are willing to add to your motion that if there's something we call in April, we have spot things are better. If these things you can talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can just add that to it.
All right. We have a motion for this.
Yeah, we're ready for roll call, Jim.
Okay. I'll take a roll call then for approval.
Trustee Garvin.
Aye.
Trustee Olet.
Aye.
Trustee Sedero.
Aye.
Trustee McFall.
Aye.
Trustee Bell.
Aye.
Trustee Kevin.
Aye.
Trustee
Aye. All right. With that, we'll move along. Thank you, Kristen. We'll move on to item number D, BOT 21-04, discuss the necessary action to hiring economical development consultant. Manager Michael.
Okay, I'll handle this one. Included in the packet was a proposal from our current planning agency. They actually have been doing planning consulting for the city of South Milwaukee and Oyster Bay, Village of Oyster Bay. The agreement would be on piece of time and materials basis. So essentially, the people that would be doing it are the same people that did our original comprehensive plan here 12 years ago, whatever it was, and we did that. And then also the person that was a big part of doing our update to the plan. They've got the qualifications. I did ask two other organizations for proposals. They said he did this kind of thing, and when they get back to me, the other one said no, that's not really what we do. So I'm obviously I'm recommending all we really have to do is agree that there are planning and economic development and consultants and get on an hourly basis. I'm not doing it or me.
And go ahead, Trustee Barbian. Go ahead, Trustee Barbian.
Just let me be clear, you mentioned the planning, they have to get done actually economic development also. Okay, so when you say planning, really about what we're looking for.
They did it for South Milwaukee for a number of years. And South Milwaukee just changed now because they want more somebody to walk in each business and kind of shake hands and get somebody on staff that's permanent.
They would look at, they also this job, they would look at opportunities that may come to.
Yeah, they outline basically what they would do.
I'm really, I'm not.
The other thing that's kind of changed is the recent news that the bank is going to intends to try to reinvigorate them all.
What?
the bank intends to integrate them all. I thought you guys had the bank that's going to open, they intend on putting more money into it, not a lot, but sprucing it up a little bit and trying to get as much out of it as they can.
Go ahead, trustee Chadwick.
What is the budget that we have for this?
I recall it's 70,000,
70,000. Okay.
70?
Alright. I read through the proposal and stuff in there, and I do have some questions about it. They're talking about, under, on their first page, under work plan and approach, implement efforts, they say long-term, but how long, what's their definition of long-term? Is it about 10 years?
where is the long term?
It's under, page 2, it's under work plan and approach. Their first bullet, black bullet, and then the second bullet, it says promotion, and it says for long-term vibrancy. What's their long-term? Is that 10 years?
Yes, I would say
10 years, 5 years?
10.
10.
10 years?
They said, well, maintaining attention on the community. So are they talking about the entire community, or are they talking just about Southbridge? They are talking still under there. So they're talking about the development of all of Greendale. Because I mean, we have the industrial part. I mean, there are other parts of, you know, there's the corridor up and down Loomis and stuff. So I mean, if the focus is just on Southbridge, yes, that may very well be our main focus. But there are other parts that need to be included. So I wasn't sure what they meant by community. I'm assuming they mean all of it.
Yes.
Okay. And then again, they said the future desire of the community. They have taken surveys already, or are they going to be taking surveys?
Where
How
you
the citizens feel.
Where you reading it?
That would be number 2, the second part on the same page. The future desire by the community. Is that all of us? I mean, citizen input?
We don't know.
No, you're just reading the last sentence. I mean, the heading is subsidization, provide strategic assistance to business operators and real estate developers in Greendale where appropriate to incentivize the economic future desired by the community, which would be however the board wants to handle it. I mean, you can decide, you can do listening sessions, you could.
No, I think what my point is being lost. What I'm saying is, if you have like a, you want the input, okay? I'm just wondering, like, for example, will they have some kind of a website and say, hey, you got an idea for a bank? You know, what would put in, and I just think that's important.
It would be however we want to do it.
Okay. And then when you go to the next page, they have a list of the local and regional partnerships that they want to develop. One of the ones that are in there, and I don't know if all of you remember, the Milwaukee 7. The Milwaukee 7 was the group that was based out of the airport, and the idea was to improve and make it, the community. Wasn't that them?
No, that was Aerotropolis.
Okay.
M7's the whole region.
Okay, because if it was Aerotropolis, that's a waste of time and money and effort. Okay, so I wouldn't be for that at all. And the Greendale Chamber of Commerce, I haven't seen much from them. So if they're gonna step up, I think that's fantastic. Okay,
Chamber really wouldn't contact you if you don't have a business. You know,
Okay, well,
we're
let me
heavily
see.
involved. I'm the treasurer of the chamber, so I know a lot.
okay.
We're gonna get very visible.
Hey, okay, that works out. And it says on there, on the other bullet, it says, assist with other special projects as requested by the village of Greendale. Is that the board? Is that you? Is that a combination?
like any other project we do, either it comes to us, we either have the idea, I would take it to the board at some point and see if there's buy-in. And then we would have to work on it.
Okay, because I think it's important that the board stay right on top of all of this. Okay, the other thing is on key scale, and it says they will give reports. Again, I think it's absolutely crucial and essential that, you know, you have your reports on maybe, perhaps not maybe once a month, but at least every other month or something. But it is important to have the board, you know, make sure that you know what's going on, what's the development, what letters being written, what, you know, who's doing what in the content. Because without being aggressive, okay, we're not going to get anywhere. We need to be aggressive.
But wouldn't that come with development? Wouldn't that come with the development of this deal? Sally, wouldn't all that come in place?
But, well,
All you're talking about would develop with this development with them. So we would then say to them, here's what we want and here's what we're looking at.
I mean, I expect these people to be thinking outside the box. Okay,
Now, but they're not quite sure what we want either, so.
we know we need something better. We know that. So
Any
what
other-
is that? And that's what I expect.
Other comments from board members?
But there has to be a tie-in, all of Greendale. And then there's on page 5. Something that I think that is important that the board realize too is the tip. That's your, okay. We've already got 5 in existing. Just be careful what you think about for the future if you decide to do another tip. So that's all I got to say. Thanks.
Yes, go ahead, trustee Olet, please.
So I see the value in this, okay, I do in somewhat. This is what I had in mind when I wanted my economic development director. There's a la carte services I see, and it would be more like a, you know, kind of pick and choose when you want them to do something. Is that my understanding? Like they would be.
My understanding was we were never hiring an economic development director or her to be an economic development.
Yes.
Well,
Consultant, like I guess that's what the consultant would be, doing stuff for us all the time, not just like.
you can't get what we got, but not these people.
Right. not you.
This
But
lady
they
makes a
do
lot
have
more than we
experience.
can afford
What
for
was that?
full time. She makes a lot more than we can afford for full time.
Are these the same people that were, at Village Days at one time, they were doing their, planner?
One of them was,
They were really great, I was impressed.
yeah, one of them.
Yeah, but I don't know if this is exactly what we want. I mean, if it's, like, let's just say, we want them to work on the balance. Could we say, this was my thought process when we talked about this, that we could say, could you see if you could find someone to develop this, building?
Yeah, that's
Could
part of
we
what,
do that?
that's part of what they said, beginning of,
Like, we put business in
being
sales.
key sites and buildings available in the known undertaking.
I like the idea.
Market. Sites that we help with.
So we could, so if we say yes, then we would just say, this is like our list and of what we're looking at.
Yeah.
So I'm for this. I wanted this for it from the beginning. I think what we have budgeted though is somewhere around 50 to 60,000. I don't think it's 70, I know originally tried to 90.
I'm pretty sure it was 70.
They're even trying to 40.
What is
Yeah, there's 65. I just want to make a point here. I did numbers. 225 is the highest. And this is the 300 is the lowest. We're at the 160 range. So with, I had the $50,000 number, so for this, this is the one. It's 333 hours, which is about 8 weeks. So we're gonna have, here's, I want to point it out.
What did you run on the rate?
The rates that run the back, it's 225, and then, I mean, yes, there's administrative, but we would never be that.
They've got the names on here. I don't know if you can see it. The principal that they're talking about is 25, or sorry, is 185 an hour, and the other one's 129.
So I did 165, so. Yeah, so just, we're roughly getting 8 weeks. So I just want to throw that out there at 50,000. For, oh, is there a contract?
This would be it, just the agreement. You already have an agreement with them. They're already playing on that.
So if we go 6 months, and we're like, hey, this isn't working, and the board decides, you know, what, let's just hire a full-time person, we can always stop
Yeah.
it and hire.
Yeah, this is basically it.
I think we need
And
that
then-
security. Okay.
Trustee Barbian,
Kind of,
and then Sal's, please.
I think exactly on what Jason indicated. We do have an opportunity, this is the past, we've never done this before. There was a need for it. If we get to the point where we've used up all the money, we can certainly need and extend it out for next year's budget. We decide if we continue or not, even in 8 weeks, to see how far we can get to the 8. In my mind, go ahead with this, start, and, what we haven't done before. And, if we need to get out of it, it's not working, we get out. It's working, and we're having success with development, we know. We take on, increase the recession here and increase funding.
What is it?
I'm-
Trustee Sal's, go ahead.
Yeah, agree with Jason. I think cost, it's just very expensive to bring what our budget is. That being said, I don't know that it's the wrong cost, so, it is what it is. So, you might get someone else that's much higher. You know, if I kind of do consulting, I think it's a way to find out. I'm trying to leave with their judgment for sure. All that being said, I personally don't know that I can vote yes to this, just because I've not talked to these people. I don't know what their ideas are for something. I don't know what their plans are. Who are you going to call local? Who are you going to call national? What vision do you see? What outside of the box ideas do you have to make this reignite something great happen? You know, what would be your strategy to talk to the small owners of small things? How do you coordinate with all the different stakeholders on the restriction covenants to do whatever we need to do to make development happen? I just don't have enough information. I've never talked to them. And also, it could be the best of the bunch. Todd didn't have a lot of luck when he went to try to find someone to compete with the new offering here. But, you know, we called RW, we called NIAP, we called all the different bids downtown, because those people are probably doing nothing until last year. They probably would love to have an opportunity to come. I just don't know really, I don't have enough information as far as what we've done as far as the process, or what their ideas are, what their action plan would be if we did hire them day one. So while I don't think we have that much time to go back to the drawing board, I also don't think we have time on something that would important to Southbridge to wait 6 months to see how it goes, and then maybe start over. So that's going to be
Trustee Barbian,
yeah, I don't know what I'm requesting, I guess, yeah, like, talk to them and get what their needs are, or something they can present to us. Like there are a couple different people present to us and say that it is.
I don't have anybody else who's here, so, I'll ask anybody. Propose.
Yeah, I would just call like RW, Tracy Johnson from there and see what she gives with this, the candidates. And then maybe the people that do the downtown. I don't know if there's anyone, Tracy would probably be the best person to talk to. And see if there's any the private side.
Just my idea is nothing's really going to happen in the mall for a month. That's got to be before the process. So the meeting, getting the restrictions off properties, nothing can happen until the bank officially has it back.
Right, and Todd said a good point too, this is the time of year when retailers are gonna go bankrupt and pull up shop or not. And so we probably could have waited out a few more weeks to see what happens with some of the other large stakeholders. So I don't know, I'd like to hear what they have to pitch would be, what their ideas were. Maybe that's a close session idea,
want to get better.
I just don't know if we can expect them to basically tell us what they're gonna do without us paying them anything for it.
I don't think a detailed plan, it's more of like, I just would like to talk to them just to figure out so they know.
Because they don't know all the players, which way Combs is, who to go to, and all this can happen.
Yeah, I guess not, let's say, hey, what's this guy's contact information and what's his role and what's his experience. Just like, hey, here's what I'd like to do in general, just see if their ideas can make sense, or something that's gonna get traction. And as far as when I say within the call, I guess I meant like, what developers or what people do we have in mind that we would talk to come and look at our property. And here you go. I do like what they did at Cyrus. I know they got the first tenant signed there, and that's a huge project. So I'm not trying to discredit them. I just don't know them. I haven't heard from them.
Do you want me to start with community?
Right.
They're open.
We're,
Yeah, I don't want to shove this down the road and have a.
I don't understand. We could table it for 2 weeks.
Let's not, my suggestion, we not even table it, just.
so Matt, what would you like to do with it?
What, Jim?
What did you say, Matt, you wanted to do?
I wasn't.
Oh, all right.
This is Todd, I'm recommending that we just bring it back to the next meeting, and not table it or take any action.
Okay. So we're gonna have them get back to us next meeting, is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, we're gonna have them come in.
All right. Everybody's on for that? All right, with that, then we'll move along to the next category here, which is number E, which is BOT 21-05. Discussion necessary action regarding water main placement project.
I'll start, but I'd like to Ron.
All right, great.
This is the original section of water main that was built when the village was originally built. We've had a number of failures on this main. This is behind the game courts downtown. The very troublesome problem with it is when it breaks, the water flows towards the school, and if it does it at night, nobody knows.
That's the one that just happened? Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
How many breaks did we have? So we had that one break, but then that caused how many breaks?
Yeah, oh my God.
Because it disrupts the flow of the system so much, and then it comes back up. And if we lose the entire power, we lose pressure, we have to have a boiler. And that's the worry, is these goofy ones that, a large main in depth aren't visible.
This was in the middle of the night. So our phones were contacted at the middle tower or PD or any resident could see it. That's what
So luckily, somebody called it then, didn't they?
Yeah.
Because otherwise they would have just put around town.
Resident.
Well, the cases were done. So, I understand the board's concern about, the effect on water rates, but, I wouldn't do it. Half the board, I think, went through that well.
Yeah, we gotta do.
I still don't agree with. I don't want to do that.
How much did it cost?
Yeah, it's estimated 150,000. We're asking if we can add it as an alternate in, construction bids for this summer. I think see where the bid comes in at, and then make the working decision at that point whether to go ahead with it or not.
In the road budget?
Trustee Hobart, Jason, go ahead. See in the back of your head.
This is heavily fixed, right? This water rate.
Yes, this is probably the third time that.
I just want to ask a question, why have
I believe it was brought up when there's a section that comes off there that goes to the middle school, and that was pipe person. I believe that was brought up at my time to replace that.
Money. Everything's money. I think the same conversation we're having today about not wanting, concerns about doing it and money. So we did that. We did the one in the woods, for one main reason was same as this, that Grade School was, but it also flooded out the middle school, I think, maybe twice. Because it goes right into the school, which is where it's graded out there.
So what would you do? We have to get a huge pipe.
So they would pipe first this just like they did through the wood. So there's no surfaces coming off of it. All the AV ports on the south end would be dug up, tied into it, tied into 12-inch coming from the east section, and then that whole section along.
So maybe we just be replacing it or addition.
Replacing.
So what is it now? What do you do now when it's great? It's like,
We replace the, whether it's a pipe or whether it's a floor wall clamp it. In this case, it was a large section of pipe.
and you replace that. with the rest.
Replace that section of pipe. So a new piece, the whole piece is taken out and a new piece is put in, whatever the length of what was not replaced.
Go ahead.
I wanted to, okay. So we spent money fixing that. Right, I'm sure. So I don't.
And 7 more bricks.
Correct.
Because of it.
So where I'm going with this is, I don't, say we spent 50 grand or 60, whatever the number is fixing this, if we would have just spent 150 5 years ago, or whatever it was, we would have actually, really in a way, only spent 80 or 90 grand there. So I don't, if there's things that need to be fixed, and yes, it's money, I think we need to really start talking about this seriously, so that we're not wasting money. Because right now, we waste a lot fixing stuff like that. So that's what I want to say.
Trustee Barbian,
Just to clarify, what you think or what we hope would happen, I do agree with that. At this point, but if our road budget has been underneath, because of the money we have, we can go over, just how long is it being funded? What are you saying? I would,
You can't use that.
No, you're not supposed to, the utility customers are supposed to pay. Our general fund can't support the utility.
no, I understand, I just want to be clear.
I mean, to answer Jason's question, the reason we have plenty of things for the main store. But we just went through a big lottery increase, like a year ago. Yeah. I mean, we were going to wait a year and maybe coming with like maybe 22, do some more maintenance, some old maintenance. And to keep fitting it to get the rates up and then once you pay off some of the debt and performing it.
If you won't have off the top of your head, but based on this full amount, and we don't get any better deals, do we know how much more will go on each water bill for a resident? Because we're already increasing.
It's not much.
That's what we would say. Every time we say not much, it's going to be higher than not much.
No, we got to I mean, this is really almost maintenance. I mean, it's a, the water utility, like $2 million a year. So it's a $2 million operation, it's 150 grand.
Also, I can add to it, my experience there, there's no good way of getting into their big. So, I mean, you're using smaller trucks, it's more time consuming. And again, if there is 100 feet of pipe without a clamp on it, all that whole stretch, I mean, every time it goes, it takes out the AV streets, and then after aftermath and tilts because it lowers the tower, and again, like Rod is explained, drops the tower, and everything starts to break. And when you lose pressure in the T section, S section, the ones that are furthest away, those are the ones that get hit the hardest. And again, you don't want to go through oil, because I did, and that is something. So it needs to get done.
Trustee Chadwick,
Is that the main reason, is why the section, the T section had major problems this past year?
That was not.
Okay. And are we talking on the blue line, the red line that you want to put in?
The blue line is the circle blue line, that is the portion of the.
Okay, And that you feel is going to take the pressure away from the schools, because I know the schools been flooded. a couple of times.
Sure, this should
This should,
eliminate any chance, of it, especially with that new portion.
okay. It seems to me like and I don't have a problem with this, but it seems to me like that every time we put in something new, some of the older stuff goes because of the change in the pressure and so on and so forth. So are we prepared for that as well?
I think with the majority of our downtown, we replace it.
Okay. All right.
Oh, go ahead, trustee. Go ahead, Jason.
We budgeted.
Jason.
Question, a resident actually called me today, saw this, asking for their documents, just where it's there as well.
This particular break was just wear and tear. Okay. Obviously, in the winter time, we get water main breaks, the ground starts to hit the freezing in it, pressure. That's just common. This one was not.
Thank you.
If you get a new water main, how long?
This stuff that we're putting in the house.
Like,
Year.
what is the average estimate life of this stuff that's been there? So, I mean, you know,
But it doesn't necessarily go that way. The funny thing is, the stuff built after World War II, they used a lot of recycled steel, or, recycled iron. It was actually worse than the old, a lot of these got pipes, I think, that are 100 years old, or more. But the stuff in the 50s is even worse, and you gotta replace that.
the stuff we have go on is supposed to last. Seems like 80 years.
Krista, do you remember the depreciation table? What percent?
One,
So it's 100 years.
and there is like the 100-year-old stuff. Still
Trustee Barbian.
getting really strong.
Yeah, not good.
But,
Where are we getting the money?
all I just want to say is, yeah, I agree with that, that's bad, but I remember back, again, if these pipes were bad, why didn't you bring this up to the budget in October? And I'd asked specifically the question, when we were doing the water rate increases, then, is there anything else that we have foreseeable that's going to impact these rates? Because we just raised them, and this wasn't even mentioned. And they still would have had to do it, but I don't know.
It's all the 1938 main, there's millions of dollars worth of work.
No, I know, but this specific one we wanted to replace in January, our new budget.
You weren't thinking about it. The problem was what this did to the system. I mean, like Jason said, this probably cost us $40,000 to break because of the 7 other ones.
When did this break?
Just old.
Pardon?
Just old water.
No, I mean, what date was it repaired? Was it prior to October?
No, I think it was in fall.
Right. I remember.
Don't do it.
Go ahead, Manager Michaels.
I know, but I know that, but it's great.
You only increase grades half.
And I agree with you.
Someone want to make a motion?
Go ahead.
I'd like to
Yes.
approve, report, parking plans to replace the water main located between Abercrombie Court and Azalea Court, and to, advertise for this.
Second motion?
Further discussion? Take a roll call for approval.
Trustee Alert?
I,
Trustee Fitzgerald?
Aye.
Trustee Paul?
Aye.
Trustee Sal?
Aye.
Trustee Trevor?
Aye.
Trustee Turbine?
Aye,
Trustee Turner?
very good.
I,
All right, passes, very good. Let's move right along with Next item, which is item F, BOT 21-06. Discussion and necessary action regarding right turn lane on Grange Avenue and 60th, placed on the agenda by trustee Olet and Barbie. And go ahead, you guys. Either of you.
I brought this up, over the-
I'd like to know how many people asked about it.
what was that?
How many people questioned about it? Or did you just,
Oh, yeah, I've had people question before, but I.
okay, go ahead.
No. There's, I would say 80% of the cars that go that way are turning right to go on the freeway. And, I think it would be a really good idea to have it be a right turn only lane. I know we discussed this over the summer, and it would be probably too costly to, go into, and that's probably not even our land. Would be goodwill, right? So instead, Todd had said that we could just do it with painting or putting a sign up like right turn only, in that area.
And the village engineer look at it, he doesn't see a problem with it. If the board wants to. It does seem to be predominant that.
So this is what you're asking is a printed turn lane and straight ahead? Is that what I'm understanding?
Correct.
All right.
All we're talking about is paint.
What's that?
All we're talking about is paint.
Painting, yes. Okay. I'm good with that.
Do you think we'd have to put a sign at all, like over the stop sign? saying right turn?
That's Rob or,
The sign with the stop sign. Yeah. Towards right, like towards the freeway.
East, or
West.
we can try that. I don't know if that's a big, I went and took a look at it, but before my surgery. Any other questions on this item? Is there a discussion?
somebody want to make a motion?
Somebody want to, get a code and know?
I would like to, make a motion to approve, thinking that the 60th and Green going westbound, make that be a right turn only.
Is it going to be right turn only?
Right turn only at 60th Street.
Well, no, then I'm not. So you want to make that straight ahead and then a right turn only?
Well, right now it's straighter turn. So we want it to be only a right turn only. There's 2 lanes there, and most of the people in the right lane, want to be going right, and they're stopped, so they can't turn right. So they're going straight. So we're saying more on the right of that lane.
I know. Go ahead. Jason, go ahead.
I guess, can I ask the police chief?
I guess I don't really have a feeling either way, but my opinion would be that it would be one lane of traffic going westbound on Green from 60 to the city crossover. I mean, the only thing I worry about, I guess we'll wait and see, but the only thing I would worry about is the traffic backs up because you only go, technically the middle lane's the only lane that you go westbound. I'd be curious to see how much traffic backs up and how close you get to the that traffic.
And if someone wants to turn left, everyone's got to wait.
You're
There's a left turn
you
only.
both to right-hand turn only, but that doesn't mean that somebody just doesn't go straight, because right across from them is a lane of traffic. So then if a car in that right-hand turn only lane goes straight and another car decides to try to merge over.
Yeah.
Potential for an accident, but I guess we'll see then. I didn't think it was that big of an issue.
So am I looking at this right now, when you go south on the 60th, you can go turn left, right? On a turn lane, is that correct?
Correct.
And you can go straight ahead, and there's 2 straight ahead lanes right now.
You're just saying southbound on 60th?
So we want to make one of those southbound lanes
No,
a turn lane?
no, it's the westbound Grange. There's two. Now it goes straight westbound and
Westbound
one
lane going on
left,
60th.
the left turn lane. The concept is to make one of the make a dedicated right turn lane.
Oh, wow. All right. I don't know if, so is that, other than just painting, that's nothing else?
I think it'll work, and if you want ahead, then we've got to really engineer look at it. It's long enough where we don't need to go back up.
Right.
There's not traffic to back it up.
Does everybody think that's good to try? I mean, you can always,
That's the reason we get this request for a dedicated right-hand turn lane at 76th and Green. And we always tell it, we have had the engineer look at it, the reason we can't do it is because they'll stack and block all the entrances to the store, to the Speedway and to the Tompkins Center across the street. This is, much larger separation. I mean, if it's a problem, you restrike it out here. But it is, they're doing pretty totally that it is the predominant movement there.
all right.
I mean, I see more people turning right there than turning left in the village.
Yeah, that's what I see, but
You get left turn over there.
what does the board think on this one?
This is just painting. We could test it out for a period of time and then decide not to go forward or continue it on further. But I do think it is a stack up for the rest of the traffic. That one lane when you're going on our main road, it is going to back up at certain times of the day. That's why
Would we, is it worth us to do a study on the need, or is it just worth painting it and doing it, trying it?
I mean, the study's gonna cost you more than the paint will.
This is one of those I really got to tell you, in all the years I've been on here, maybe if I've heard two people mention this road on turning into Greendale, I had a question, but okay. I mean, I'm for what the board wants to do, so. Any motion?
I'll second it, vendors to look at it again in 66 months.
Yeah, realize the weather thing is here.
Right, so we can do it, but 6 months after it's due, whatever that date is, that we reevaluate and see if we stack in traffic, and then we make it. Yes, sir. I would second that.
Anyone else? All right, we have a first and second.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a roll call for approving this. Is on a trial, or is this kind of just it?
Yes, 6 months.
All right, go ahead.
Trustee Chabrowski.
Aye.
Trustee McFall.
Aye.
Trustee Stout.
No.
Trustee Chadwick.
Aye.
President Birmingham.
Yes, I'll say this time.
Trustee Irving. Trustee Love.
All right, very good. All right, moving right along, last item G, BOT 21-07, discussion necessary action regarding to parking on Eastway near the Eastway Apartments. Put on the agenda by trustee McFall and trustee Barbian, please.
Thank you. The only reason I brought this up is about 2 Sundays ago, when I was out on Sunday morning and came through there and literally had stopped for a furniture truck to be by. And they, with the snow now, the cars are parked even further. They're using Eastway for parking. And I guess I just thought I'd bring it up for discussion, see how people would feel or what we could possibly do there to maybe correct this. I've driven by there where there's only been one car, but it's been after the snow plows have gone through and the lane's still like flooded up with snow and everything that, and we don't expect the public works to go back there to plow it every time, after the snowstorm. It's another cost. So I guess I just brought it up to bring it to our attention that is there anything that we could possibly do? And I don't want to put any signs on there because I know what those people will do. They'll start parking on They'll start parking on Oxford. they'll find a way to park the car. So, the only option I would have, and I would wonder if, possibly our building inspector could take a look at it, is making the Highland apartments or those Eastway apartments, add more parking to their green spaces. I mean, if you look aerial, there'd be plenty of, there's plenty of room in between some of the units there and get the cars off the street. I don't want to take money away from these apartments because I don't know if these people are, getting, overnight parking passes or monthly parking passes, to park there. But it is during the winter time, it is a big issue. It's funny, I kind of brought this up, we got it on the agenda. I drove by just to kind of see if like, hey, this, maybe we'll talk about this. There was one time. But again, the snow was out, and then I drove by later at night, and that's when it's the worst at night. And I know we got street lighting on, it's a good street, but something's gonna get hurt. It's a bad curve, I think. So again, I'd like to hear what you guys do on it.
Go ahead, go ahead.
But what I was going to suggest is, this is the same property owner who owns Crocus Court Apartments
Yes,
and Highland Lane Apartments. I do know, if you remember, they did add parking at Crocus Park 10 years ago or 15 years ago or so.
Yep.
So my thought would be to first, I'll just ask them. I talked to the principal in the past and asked them if they put more parking, because obviously it's got to be a problem for the tenants too. They don't need parking up in the winter. Maybe they get better tenants if they had better parking.
And I don't know if this is tenants, it could be people that are overnight guests or, friends but again, it's just a bad, like I said, if we can't put signs there, again, everybody will agree that they'll start parking on hold. And it's not fair to the people because then if you go to follow their street, they're gonna have a car in front of their house, or what if that car doesn't move in a day or 2 days or whatever, something. Or they have a permit to park on the street, where they can't park on it. So again, it was just something I thought, bring it up, see what you guys think.
it seems to me, Todd, it seems to me over the 20 years I've been on the board, this has come to us several times about people parking on that road and the various ways we address that. And it doesn't seem we've come up with very good ideas on doing that. Do you remember this at all being brought up? Go ahead, Manager Michaels.
Jim?
Yes, go ahead.
I did throw this past the village attorney, who said we could try to make some kind of, if the owners aren't amenable or agreeable to cooperatively do something that we could call, we could try to call the property functionally obsolete. Meaning when they built it in the late 50s, people didn't have as many cars as they have now. Apartment owners or apartment dwellers didn't have cars. Now, they probably have their kids got a car for their kid. So we could try that along those lines and maybe force them into it.
But it seems to me probably 5 or 8, 10 years ago, we took a beating by that. I mean, the board for bringing, these are people who really came in force on having to park their car. They have 2 cars in an apartment and they have no place to park. So, I mean, are we up on what we allow them to do or not allow them to do? I would just say that I like the idea Rob's doing again, because this is something we've never been able to come up with. But you want to do your way, what you're saying, Todd, why don't we do that way first?
Yeah, we would start, cordially, and if they're not willing to do anything, then we would push harder and see what we can do.
Right.
Probably would have brought this up, but this way, everybody uses that as a cut back to 51st Street, or they come off 51st Street to get to, the main, the Rams Gap. So it's a big, and we just redid that road too. So again, this is why I brought it up, to see what you guys thought.
Everybody good with Todd taking a look at this? Sally, you have your hand up, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I like the idea of the talking first. As for snow and stuff, I live right on the right next to Greenway. Okay, and I have those apartments. And when there's snow and the cars are parking on Greenway, it's a mess. I mean, I've seen a car that literally got snowed in. Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. But I also have neighbors who, they got a parking permit and they're on the street. Okay, they don't park in front of their house, they park in front of my house. Okay, and the plow goes by. Okay, I don't know what to say, you know, it's just kind of like, that's the way it is. But I do like the idea of talking to them. I would like to know from, you know, if all these cars that are there on East Street, is it a police thing? I mean, do they have permission? That would be interesting to find out, but I do think the right way would be to talk to the owners. Okay, and I like the suggestion.
I just feel that plenty of.
All right, Todd, why don't you go ahead and take that and let us know where that,
Yeah, I'll let you know what they say then.
very good. All right, with that, we are at the end. The next part is office reports. Everybody received the officers' reports and department reports. Any questions for any of our departments tonight? If we see none, village manager, anything from you tonight?
No, the only thing I was gonna ask is, we've got the fire chief prepared to give us a demonstration of the new device that we authorized on the back.
Okay, great.
So.
All right, so you guys are in for a little treat. I've been here about a year. You've certainly heard me talk about this Lucas 3 device numerous times. I certainly believe in it wholeheartedly. And last 2 months ago, we did get it. We do have it in service now for a little over a month. And what we're going to do is a quick demonstration for you. So far this year, and it's only the 19th, we did it 3 times. We had a 57-year-old female in Southbridge that was down. Our machine asystole, heart was not beating. Used the Lucas device plus the great work that my guys do, and we got her back to the hospital. She was back alive, and 48 hours later, when we checked on her, she was still alive in the hospital. Unfortunately, I don't think personally her outcome's going to be very good. The other one, we had a 70-year-old male. Again, one flatline. We brought him back to the hospital, and we believe that he has a good chance of walking out of the hospital. The third one is no longer with us. So, looks like we took seniority numbers, so the captain's going to play our first dummy. But the first thing I wanted to show guys, if we can zip that page back up real quick, I just wanted to show. You had a Lucas device, a Lucas 2, and a Lucas 3. You bought the Lucas 3. It's the cat's ass of Lucas devices. We got the turtle pack, and what it is, it's like a backpack where our guys can carry it on their shoulders, and that way their hands are free still to carry all the other equipment. Okay, we come on the scene, you know the person is not breathing anymore. First thing they're gonna do is bring out the back plate. And one of the advances of Lucas 3 to the other ones is it's got the non-skid resistance on the back plate, so it doesn't slide on the carpeting. Right in the middle of his sternum. And they have, it could go either way. It's gonna snap right into place very quickly. Then the first thing they'll do is turn it on. Then they can measure the mid part of their sternum. All they're gonna do is put the suction cup down to the middle of your chest. Right now, the computer knows now the proper depth. For any person, obviously everybody's smaller or bigger. You want 2-inch depth of compressions for everybody. It's according to American Heart Association guidelines. And now we have the hand straps, which they also put him on. A person that's not breathing, doesn't have a pulse, we've got their hands out of our way. You can also start an IV in their arms that way, and it's out of our way to do work on this person. There's also a neck strap, so his head will not slide once we're doing CPR. No, we're not gonna do it on him.
I see you moving like that.
We were just showing you how it was set up. Unfortunately, history has a way of people passing away or needing this. They're either downstairs or upstairs. We normally have to carry the person up or downstairs. With this attached to that person, we do not have to stop CPR. When we would have to do it manually, just for our safety, carrying somebody up and downstairs, we normally have to stop. Also, the benefit of this device is in a moving vehicle, back of our ambulances. For our safety, we have to be seat belted. We cannot do CPR in a moving vehicle. With the Lucas device on, you can do continuous CPR. We will always do the proper compression, the rate, the speed, and we'll also do the proper depth of compressions every time. Battery on it lasts for about 45 minutes. We always carry a second battery. Everybody on the department has been trained. And now we're going to show you how quickly it does CPR, and you'll be amazed. Yep. Going 2 inches in depth is going the rate of 100 times a minute, and that machine doesn't get tired. A lot of these guys aren't in as good a shape as I am. I could be down there just as good for 2 minutes straight, but obviously it is a machine, so batteries can wear out, machines can break. So we are certainly keeping up all our CPR certification skills. That's your Lucas device. And again, it's a wonderful machine. Most hospitals in the area now have that in their emergency room. And I'm a big believer and proponent that in Milwaukee County that we should have one on every single ambulance. Especially right now, in the month of December, we had 29.3% of our calls were overlapping, meaning that we have more than one call going on at a time in the village. Certainly, I can't tell you we're going to have 2 people down that need CPR at the same time. I can't predict that. If I could predict that, I certainly wouldn't be here. So I'm a big believer that we should have one on both ambulances. The price though is $16,700. I have a connection possibly in the village that one of our members feel very strongly for this, and I might be getting a donation. The possibility, I'm hoping. So far, it's gotten positive reviews from all our members, and I'm going to guess if the one gentleman or if the other lady can walk out of the hospital, they're going to be very happy also. Franklin has one, Greenfield has one, and how they run, they have it on their battalion chief car. So they have to hope that he or she is not busy. They have to call for that rig to come on a possible P&D. Could be 2 minutes. They could be responding right away. But before we got this, the closest battalion chief from Greenfield or Franklin would be coming in to us, and they would be giving us the Lucas device. But that's when we would be waiting 2 to 3, 4 minutes, and by that time, we would not get as good a result as we are with this device. So I thought, again, how important I think it is, the cost of it that you guys approved 2 months ago, that we wanted to at least show you, and then you can spread the word that in the community that we have a pretty top-notch equipment.
Very good.
That's awesome to see. And again, it's not just the equipment. The men and women of the department also know what they're doing. Pretty fantastic.
If anybody wants to donate to you, I have them call you. Chief, hello? Hello?
What, Jim?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Oh, I was talking to the chief.
Doesn't do much for me, sorry.
All right. No, I was just asking if I have somebody that might donate to him on this. I'll just have him call him. That's right.
Another one?
All right. With that, I have nothing from the village president's end. Therefore, we'll go to the last citizens comments area. Citizens comments, please give your message to us one time for 3 minutes. 5 minutes is representing a group. name and address for the record. Come on up. Unfortunately, I can't see if you're coming, but I take somebody's coming up. Nope, nobody coming. All right, with that, we will be still moving into closed session. Is that correct, Scott? Todd?
I was gonna ask the board if they wanted to schedule a special meeting or try to get it over with tonight, but it's gonna go over an hour, I'm sure.
Special meeting.
I'm for a special meeting sometime, but what does the board want to do?
Thursday night, maybe? Only way I can do Thursday. That's what I would choose for. Anybody can post at 6 o'clock Thursday?
So when would it be?
6 o'clock Thursday.
I'm good. I'll even try to walk in. Is everybody good with that? Then with that, we will have closed session Thursday, and I will we'll close session we'll just close tonight. So I'll take an adjournment. Is there a second? All right, take a roll call for adjournment, please.
Trustee Paul.
Aye.
Trustee Charles.
Aye.
Trustee Kevin. President Berman.
Aye.
Trustee Ryan. Trustee Paulette.
And Jason, I'll talk to you tomorrow.